Hey everyone, I'm super excited to continue our conversation about leadership style in today's episode. This is part 2 of a 4-part series where we dive into the individual styles and tactics for how to implement them. Now, if you missed part 1, go ahead and check it out after today's episode. And in today's episode, we're going to dive into one of the more popular styles currently in use. Now, if you've never been here before, welcome. I'm Jody Harr, Leadership and Management Coach. This is Velocity Leadership. Before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and hit the subscribe button below this video to stay up to date on all of our latest content. Now, as I mentioned, this is part of a series where we dive into 4 really popular leadership styles. So make sure that you watch all 4 episodes to see which one works best for you. Now, if you've done any research on this topic, and I'm assuming that you have, otherwise you wouldn't be here today, you already know there are differing views on each one of these approaches and each style. These are the tactics and approaches that I've been successful with in my 20-year career in leadership and coaching. Now, clearly there are multiple different philosophies about every leadership style. Just pick up a book, do a quick Google search, or look for a video on YouTube, and you're literally going to see hundreds of differing opinions on what styles work best, what types of teams each one of these styles work for, or what each person should do that's using this style. For me, this has been a constant education of what works, what doesn't, and then learning how to implement each one of those styles as the needs arise within my team. And just because you lean towards one particular style or one style feels more natural to you doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't try a different approach. You need to be flexible and willing to try these new styles and shift your tactics when the needs arise. So these are the top 4 styles that apply most to the managers that I've worked with over the years. Number 1 is your authoritative or your transactional, which was what episode number 1 was. Number 2 is your servant or people first approach. Number 3 is your democratic or participative. And number 4 is your transformational or coach. Now, with a wide variety of opinions on this topic, I tend to keep things pretty simple and straightforward. It makes it easier for me to understand. It also makes it easy and reduces confusion for those that I'm working with and those that I'm coaching. Overall, I just don't like to overcomplicate things. I like to keep things pretty straightforward. In this video, we're going to walk through the servant or people first approach and examples of how it can be used in types of teams that I think it works well with. So now a lot of people throw this term around, but do they really know what it takes to do this type of leadership well? Servant leadership is probably the most popular to say right now because it makes people feel good about themselves and about what they're doing. However, many of these people may not really be a servant leader. Truly being a people-first leader takes a lot of work on the part of the leader. So here's a definition, and hopefully this makes you understand why people want to use this type of leadership style. So servant leadership is a management style in which you lead by putting the needs of your team first. Servant leaders believe that when their team members feel personally and professionally fulfilled, they produce higher quality work more efficiently and productively. Now, you can absolutely see from this definition why people want to say they're servant leaders. Look at all of the benefits you get when you're a servant leader. But as a servant leader, you must invest the time to understand what your individual team members' dreams, desires, and skills are. And to be honest, this is where many of our leaders fail. They don't spend enough time with each of their people to get a deep understanding of where they are and where they want to be. To be great at this, you must invest the time and energy to get to know your team. And then when setting goals and tasks, you'll have to consider each member and how they're going to fit into your overall plan, since the entire philosophy relies on the team feeling personally and professionally engaged and fulfilled. You need to be a great motivator to try to be this type of leader. You have to have incredible communication skills. You need to encourage collaboration, and you need to have a total commitment to your team. This style is great for building culture or morale within your organization. The team can build incredible trust, and it can also lay the foundation for building leaders of the future. So where does it work best? So there are a couple of types of teams that this really applies to and can work well with. Your first one is your established team that could use some additional support to improve their engagement and morale. Maybe they've been a little beat down or not feeling like the company or the organization has been supporting them. This would be huge for turning that type of team around and building up their trust. Second is your high-performing team. They don't really need to be instructed on the day-to-day activities. They're already really good at what they do. They just need somebody as a leader to step in there and assist when they have an issue or they have a concern that needs to be addressed. All right, so story time. As a young leader, I started to learn about this style of leadership on the job. I had been managing in the only style I really had understood at that point, which was your authoritative, and that had been working pretty well for me and for the team. However, it felt like I'd hit a bit of a plateau. I couldn't figure out how to improve the team's performance, and I really needed to get us going a little bit faster. And that's when I began to spend more time side by side with my team doing the job with them. Not only showing them how to do the tasks and interact with the customers, but also getting a better understanding of who they were and what made them tick. Spending time individually with the team allowed me to lead by example. This was super important and allowed me to find ways to help improve their individual skill sets. This is when things really started to roll and take off for us as a team. By being able to see firsthand where their opportunities were, I could provide immediate feedback and coaching in real time. This was an absolute game changer. I could jump in and help because I understood the skills and I knew what it took to do the job. So this two-pronged approach of providing feedback and then jumping in when they needed support reverberated throughout the team. Because your entire team talks. When you're not around, they chat about what you're doing and what you're doing while you're out there with them. So they no longer had this feeling of, oh my God, Jody's coming out into the field with me. What are we going to do? I hate it when the boss rides with me. They started to enjoy when I was with them because they knew that I would help when they needed help, but I would also sit back and learn when they were doing things better than I could. And then what we did is we would kind of collaborate. We'd take all of these things and all these tips and skills that we had learned and then take it back to the entire team and share so everyone could learn from what their peers were doing really well. And this was a real awakening for me personally. It was when I first learned how to incorporate new skills into my tool bag, and I really started to feel like an actual leader, not just a manager, because that's what my title was. Now, there are some drawbacks to this particular style. It's really heavy on the leader. They spend so much time and effort focusing on the team members that it makes it difficult to hit all their goals or to make changes in the plan if the business environment changes quickly. And then if used for too long, the style can reduce the effectiveness of the leader, and then the team will start to see the leader as weak. So depending upon the construct of the team and the current climate of the business or organization, it can be a great way to build team trust, collaboration, and culture within your organization. Just be careful that you don't let them start to run you. So that wraps up our review of servant leadership. I hope you found it helpful. What I'd like you to do is go ahead, drop a comment below of what kind of success you've had with this leadership style if you've used it in the past. If you haven't and you plan on using it, let me know and let me know why. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It does help out the channel and I absolutely appreciate it. Hey everyone, before you go, I want to tell you about a free resource I have for leaders of any level that are looking to dramatically improve your performance right now. It's called the 30-Day Map to Success, and what I've done is I've taken my 20 years of leadership experience and wrapped it up into an easy-to-use and actionable mind map that allows you to quickly go through, identify tasks, and implement them into your schedule that are going to dramatically improve your performance and the performance of your team. It's available at vldsecrets.com. The link is in the description below this video, so go ahead, click on the link, get your copy today. Like I said, it's totally free and it's great for leaders of any skill level. So what are you waiting for? Get your copy right now and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.